Hello again, everybody. Brian Wayne here, your host of the Cheers to Comics podcast, and I'm back to talk more comic books. It's what I do. Another big, thick stack of books has been plowed through this week, and I've narrowed my favorites down to just five, like I've been tending to do lately. It was difficult. There was some stuff moving in and out of slots, but I think I got it finalized here. I'm pretty comfortable with these top five picks. But before I get into all that, I gotta remind you to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff that YouTubers tend to do. And also let you know that there is a podcast, not visual. Yes, all different content for your ear holes on Apple and Spotify and I guess Amazon does podcasts. Now, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. Yes, I do creator interviews and I talk about future speculation, hot books, things like that, stuff to expect on your pull list on your way to pick up your books on New Comic Book Day, just all of that good stuff. So remember, on Spotify and Apple and anywhere, you can get your podcast. But without further ado, my top five. Once again, wasn't an easy list to narrow down, but it's here. So let's start with five. My number five pick is going to be a Marvel book. The big event book. The only big event book. Or the big event book. The one that everybody and their mother has been talking about. King in Black. The fifth issue wrapping this whole thing up. The big Donny Cates Venom extravaganza coming to an end. There's only one more issue of Venom before Donny Cates is, done with Venom. I will preface this though. Do not read Venom 34 until you read King in Black number 5. I made that mistake. It's kind of I flipped it around. It makes much. It's a lot easier of a read. And Venom 34 is much more enjoyable if you read it before King in Black. But King in Black, Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, Frank Martin. It's amazing, man. I loved it. It was an amazing finale. I know there's gonna be people going because that's what happens with comic book events and Marvel comic book events and Donny Cates haters and shit like that. But in the end, I got what I was expecting. I guess I don't know if that's always a good thing, but I'm happy with what I was expecting. There was a pretty definitive conclusion. It sets up Venom for. Who knows what, man. he comes out on top of badass, and I'm trying to tiptoe around spoilers here, but I mean, if you're on the internet at all, you kind of know. I mean, the trolls are out, that's for sure. What does this do for the sake of Venom 3 speculation? Does this book going to plummet in popularity and price on eBay because the first appearance of Noel and the conclusion to all of this? I think it probably will take just a little bit of a dip. But hold your books, man. I mean, Noel will be back. Kate said it himself, darkness always comes to light again, or some poetic shit that he tends to say. The dude's a beast with his words. Venom will be back. Noel will be back. Venom is back. Eddie's back, and like I said, I'm trying to be as non-spoiler as I can about this, but yeah. Impressive. Very impressive. I love the art. There's a point in time where, in the very beginning, actually, Venom takes on the Mjolnir and fucking Silver Surfer's board turned into a board sword. Hold on. It'd be like a broadsword, but it's a board sword. So then he puts them together and he creates his badass axe, and then it's just time to kill Null, and that's what he goes for. And the battle ensues for many pages. It's metal as shit. It's what you want. It's what you want out of Ryan Stegman giving a finale to Venom and Null and this whole thing that they've created. I think they've done an amazing job. I know that the trolls are going to be the loudest, but give it a read for yourself. I enjoyed the event as a whole. I got to go through and kind of read a lot of the side issues. What do they call them? Tie-ins. But overall, very, very enjoyable. I like how it all turned out. I can't wait to see where Venom goes from here. We'll find out in the 35th issue, presumably. Number 4, my fourth pick. It goes to Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad number number 2. Robbie Thompson, Eduardo Penschia, and Marcello Mariallo, I believe is how you say that. Peacemaker, man. This is a peacemaker-centered book. It's getting us in tune with who this character is, what he's about, and what he's about is peace by any means necessary. That's why he's about, Amanda Waller and what she's doing. Amanda Waller's running the team again. It was awesome. And the mission in this, break Talon out of, I don't know, the Psycho Ward jail, wherever he's being held up. Break him out and put him on the team. People die because it's a Suicide Squad. Team members die. I'm not going to spoil anything as to who, but it's rad, man. It's metal. It's what I want out of this book. I was afraid that the bar with this team was going to be set to a standard that was unobtainable due to what Tom Taylor has done, but Robbie Thompson and crew have done an amazing job taking on this whole new team, and it's fun, man. It's fun. I dig it. So that's my number 4. How about number 3? Number 3 is going to be Nocterra. Nocterra number 2, Scott Snyder and Thomas Murray and Tony Daniel. Tony Daniel on the art. Oh, man. It's good stuff. Really, really good stuff. It's picking up right where number 2 left off. The black top man is after the old son of a bitch, and they come to a crossroads and a sunspot. I want to say the ferry driver, if you will. Oh man, I don't want to give anything away, but I will say one thing. It makes me love this series and be more just invested in this series than even the first issue. Was it as good as the first issue? I don't know about that, because the first issue all the way through was just like, oh shit. The second issue, it was much more dialogue, but all necessary dialogue, don't get me wrong, but that ending, man, that ending was the metal that I want. That's, so goddamn good. So goddamn good. Number 2. My number 2 pick goes to another Image book. You're going to sense a trend here for the rest of this countdown. Geiger. Geiger number 1, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, and Brad Anderson. I don't know what kind of expectations I went into this with, as far as story-wise go. I went into this speculating on it, to be honest. I put it on my pull list thinking, oh shit, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank doing a book together. I bet people are going to be all over this. I don't know how much intention I actually had on reading it. Not that I have anything against the creative team at all. I didn't know much about the book other than the creative team. But then I read it, and then I all the way through, from page to page for number 1. Holy shit. It was incredible. It's not, I wasn't expecting a superhero story. It's a superhero story, but done in an Image type of fashion. We're not talking like capes and da-da-da-da. It's a darker type of version. It's a man caught up in a post-nuclear world trying to defend the bunker of his family, from what I gather. Kind of ambiguous as to some stuff, but oh man, it was hard not to make this my number 1 pick. It was really, really good, but as far as my number 1 goes, I think it might have been the first book I read. And as soon as I put it down, almost actually halfway through, I was like, I don't know if anything this week is going to be this good. And then I read the next half of the book and was like, I don't see this happening. So maybe there was a little bit of bias in my countdown, but what is the book? The book is Silver Coin. Silver Coin number 1. It is a horror anthology series that Image is doing. Again, they got the success of Ice Cream Man really set a pace. And then the same team doing Haha, or at least the same writer doing Haha, another horror anthology series, doing very, very well. So why not put out another one? And this is not the same team at all. This is, I guess it's going to have a different creative team every single issue, but this creative team being Chip Zdarsky and Michael Walsh, holy shit. Anything that has to do with music and comics I'm going to be into, but when you bring leather jackets and rock and roll and metal and all that stuff into it, I'm all about it. Essentially what's going on here is a dude finds a coin, It's Pick a Destiny with a whore twist, is what it is. Dude finds a coin, they gotta pay the rent, and then they fucking rock out, and then the guitarist gets all the talent, and then the club owner's like, hey man, you want to play with the disco thugs or whatever the fuck they're called? I don't think they're called the disco thugs. Definitely not called the disco thugs. But if I had a disco band though. So and it's like I'm not selling out, man, and then he's starting to realize, okay, maybe the only way to success is selling out, and then he plays the fucking disco, and to the point where yeah, the horse stuff comes in. Yeah, and I'll let you check that out on here. Once again, I'm not here to spoil. I do my best not to spoil anything on these top fives. Great. An incredible, complete 20-page issue. I love what horror in comics is doing right now. And Chip Zdarsky, I mean, what can't this guy fucking do? The dude makes me laugh. The dude writes crazy, dramatic Spider-Man stories. The dude writes horror with rock and roll and metal. I mean, come on, man. This is this is my shit. This is an amazing week for comics, and I know that there's so many more books that I wish it's not that I can't talk about them, but I can't fit them into my top 5. Great stuff though. So I'm here to help just a little bit more when you're at the shelf on Wednesday and you're trying to figure out, oh fuck, just think, what was on Brian's top 5? What was the Cheers to Comics top 5, and then go from there. Yeah, remember, like and subscribe to the video. I will talk to you the next time I decide to talk about comics. Cheers.